Hi guys, I am pretty excited to film this video. It's one of the videos that's been most requested recently, and it's all about my hair. My hair has a slight purple tint to it today because I've really overtoned it because on Saturday I'm going for some tape hair extensions. While we're on that kind of tack, this whole video you have to kind of take with a pinch of salt if you are someone that sticks to a hairstyle, you know what suits you and that's where you're going to stay, because I'm not that kind of person at all. I'm definitely someone that's on a whim will change my hair, bleach it, dye it dark, cut it off, do it long, whatever. And so taping hair extensions, I'm not going for them because I hate my hair. I really love the cut that I have. It's really thick in the ends, and I do know that when I have the tape extensions you may have to thin them out slightly. We'll see how that goes, but you know, it grows. I'll have it cut again, that's fine. Short hair is much easier for me to deal with. I'm not a high maintenance hair kind of person, and so I'm never going to grow my hair out. One, because I'm never going to have the time to do it all the time, maybe for a short period of time, because tape extensions, they're supposed to last like 4 to 6 weeks or something. So for 4 to 6 weeks, it'll be fun to have long hair, but I'll be really glad to go back to really low maintenance hair like this. Plus, if I did grow my hair really, really long, I'd be kind of gutted when on a whim I decided to cut it into a bob again. So for me, hair extensions are really fun because it's a temporary way to play with length, but overall I'm definitely a short hair kind of person. I definitely prefer to have shorter hair. I think it suits me more, and yeah, but because I'm having these hair extensions on Saturday, which I will talk to you about when I've had them done, I've really gone to town with the toning of my hair because I really can't tone my hair when the extensions are in my hair because they'll take at different levels. Like my hair will take the tone, the whatever it's called, the like purple shampoo or the toner really well, but I don't know how well the extensions will, and I don't want it to look mismatched. So that's why I've done it, and that's why I look slightly purple. Although sometimes I do it on purpose and I'll leave it on and have kind of full-on lavender hair, which then fades to kind of white and then fades to a regular neutral clean blonde. So I'm going to talk to you first about the toning products that I've been using recently. One thing is super precarious because it's been in the shower and it's just like full of water. Can you see that? So it's not even like a shampoo-y consistency right now, it's like liquid. So it could go everywhere. So I'm going to hope that it doesn't. This is the Stafford Bleach Blondes Shampoo Pro Blonde Complex. He does rather 2 shampoos. One of them is a pale one of them, this is terrible. One of them is a pale purple, because I can't say lavender or lilac apparently, bottle, and it's for kind of everyday. That's a much more subtle tone, whereas this one is very, very dark purple, and if you leave it on for more than a few minutes, it will retain that colour in your hair. That's for me, who's got very, very blonde hair. If you had slightly brassier hair or slightly darker blonde hair, then it might take, you know, 5 minutes for it to get to the tone that you want. You just kind of have to like play around with it and see what suits you, but I know that I can kind of quickly shampoo my hair, not really leave it in, and I'll still get that slight lavendery pink tone to it, which I like, but just bear that in mind because it is quite strong. Touch of Silver I've used in the past. I found that to be quite drying on my hair. It also wasn't that effective, so if you were looking for something, because I felt like I had to leave it on to get much of an effect, which in turn made it quite drying, I would have to use like a really deep conditioner after using it, even if I just use it as a quick shampoo. But bear that in mind if you do want just a real subtle quick something. Touch of Silver is there. It's very inexpensive. It's just not my favourite. This I don't find to dry out my hair at all. Plus it's more of a pink lavendery colour than a blue silver. And depending on the colour that you're trying to counteract, if you've got more of an orangey yellow tone, the blue will be better. But if you've got more of like a yellow blonde, then the purple might be better for you. So that's just something. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to turn this phone off. Okay. Anyway, moving on, I've tried these 2 recently, and this is what I mixed in with my Stafford yesterday when I did this, and I have the Blast, it's called Quif, the brand is called Quif, Blast Creative Colour, Platinum Blonde, and this would be the toning blue shampoo, but I also have the White Lightning, and I'm not totally sure what this is supposed to do. I think that this is supposed to be mixed in with their other hair colours to kind of leave it a pastel colour, but I'm not sure if you could just use it by itself, as kind of a more subtle tone. I don't know, but I mixed 3 of them together and this is what I got. And that was just because I was trying to use those and try something new and get a more of a clean blonde rather than a pinky tone like I normally do. So they are the toners that I would use, but number 1, the Stafford one, is amazing. I haven't had anyone come back to me that I've recommended it to and say, oh my god, I hated that. It's just, at worst, you'll have slightly pinky tones in your hair, and then when you wash it again, they'll be gone. It's just awesome. Okay, moving on to shampoo and conditioner. Other than that shampoo, there's no shampoo and conditioner I'm actually loyal to. I just switch it out all the time. I don't find that anything is all that great compared to anything else. I never go back and think, oh, I've run out of this shampoo, I'll go and get this one. So I'm not going to kind of talk about those because there's nothing I specifically would recommend. But for deep conditioner, I have this one, which is Lee Stafford's, it's hair treatment. Lee Stafford's hair treatment for hair that never grows past a certain length. And this is supposed to be kind of a protein treatment for hair to grow. I'm not using it so that my hair will grow. It's just one of the best treatments that I've found to leave my hair just looking really shiny and feeling really nice. So that I would absolutely recommend. It's quite expensive, but you can find it on offer. The last time I purchased it, I think I got 3 for £15, and they're about £10 each, so that was a really good deal. But yeah, it can be quite expensive because I'll use quite a lot of it at a time, and I only have short hair. Another treatment that I've recently discovered, and this was sent to me, but oh my god, I love this, and I will absolutely repurchase it myself. I've tried their little mask as well, and I don't like it as much as this. This is so good, to the point where I washed my hair today and I didn't even condition it. I just left this in. It's a leave-in foam. It is like a leave-in conditioner, but this is the only conditioner that I used, and my hair feels so nice. It just, oh, feels so good. And it smells amazing. I don't know where you can buy this. I'll link everything that I mentioned below, and if I can find a link to this, I will link it. But I don't know in a store if you can go and buy this and kind of squirt a little bit and smell it, but oh, it does smell like Milkshake. It's just the most amazing smelling thing that I've ever put in my hair, and it does linger. Really love this. Another thing that I use on my hair as a treatment is coconut oil, and I've recently discovered that you can whip coconut oil and add in other ingredients. I did a whole video about this for our Style and Toast channel, so I will link that below. But just solid coconut oil will work just as well, but I will show you in that video how I used it. It was so much easier, less messy, didn't have to melt it, just definitely would recommend trying it that way. Styling, I don't do a lot to my hair. This is another thing that I would say if you're looking to keep your hair looking kind of nice and in nice condition and strong and healthy. I barely heat style my hair. Today I left it for as long as possible to dry for itself, then blasted it with the hairdryer quickly, and then I kind of went round. I've got a hot styler, like it's from THX, which is from Tesco. I need another one. The reason I'm not showing you it is because it's kind of all busted up, it's years old, I need to go and get another one. It's only £20, it's not expensive, but it's their version of like the Babyliss thing that twists round, but this doesn't rotate, so you have to do it yourself. And it's basically a hot brush, like a hairdryer brush. Why am I not explaining myself very well? I have loads of tutorials of how to use it, just basically the only hair tutorials I've ever done. My wet to dry is using that brush because it's so amazing, and especially if you have a bob, it's invaluable. It's the only tool that I have. I barely ever use my hairdryer, I just use that. If I was to be styling it at all, I can't remember the last time I straightened my hair. I wouldn't choose to because I don't think it looks great on me. It just makes my hair look really flat. And most of the time, depending on the length, when it was slightly shorter than this, I could easier get away with it. But I would basically, when my hair is all wet, I'd kind of towel dry it a little bit and then comb it back and put it in a bobble. And then until it was near enough dry, I would then take it out, comb it through, and then it would just dry like that, and that would be totally fine. It would have a little bit of a kink, and I would kind of mess it up a little bit, and that was that. I can't leave it to dry completely naturally, like untamed, because I do have a natural wave to my hair, and it would just look a little bit insane at this length, but I don't tend to do really much with my hair at all. I like to let it dry naturally as often as possible, because I kind of feel like you can be this blonde, or you can heat style it. So I heat style as little as possible. Styling products wise, because I don't like to heat style and I don't like to spend too much time blow drying my hair, I've discovered this is amazing. Only in the last couple of weeks I've started using this, and it's from KMS. I got it in one of my beauty boxes ages ago, like months ago, and someone said, you've got to try that, it's amazing. It cuts down drying time by like however much. And at that time I wasn't really drying my hair often, and it doesn't take all that long, but because my hair is more and more bleached all the time, it's holding more and more water, it's becoming more and more porous, and so it is taking longer to dry these days. And I'm thinking when I have the extensions it's going to take hours and hours and hours, so I'm hoping that this will come in handy then as well. It's called Free Shape Quick Blow Dry. It says faster drying and light conditioning. This is amazing. I would absolutely recommend this to anyone who has to blow dry their hair, has less time, or it takes ages to blow dry your hair. It really does impact the drying time, and when I do have the extensions in, I will be telling you whether or not this makes an impact on kind of much longer, thicker hair. We shall see, but I really like that. For dry shampoo, essential. When you're as blonde as this, you don't really need to worry about you don't need to worry about residue. I need to put my teeth in today. This video is going terribly wrong. Because obviously you're looking for white, and if my roots do come through, which inevitably they do, when my roots do come through, it kind of masks them a little bit, whereas the one with the yellow tone, really not what I'm looking for. I just like the regular one, and yeah, this tropical one is my favourite scent as well. I'm never ever without Batiste. I've tried loads of different dry shampoos, nothing has worked as well. The only other styling products that I have, and again this goes hand in hand with me not doing anything heat-wise, is this Stafford Messed Up Putty for Choppy Number. Oh, Putty for a Choppy Number, that makes more sense. And again, this smells as good as all the Stafford products. Did I even mention the Stafford products smelling good? I know you know that they do. They remind me so much of Angel perfume. It's just that kind of musky, sweet, oh, I love them so much. And again, they really retain the scent in your hair, but obviously if you use something as a styling product on top, even better. And what I like about this one is it does kind of feel like you're putting putty in your hair, like a men's or a short hair styling product, but you can still kind of put your fingers through it, and when you brush it out, it's not sticky, and you know what I mean? Like if I use it one day, the next day I don't want that kind of same kind of style, it's not still there. So I think it's definitely aimed at people with slightly longer hair that maybe want to style it differently the next day. But I kind of just like mess it into my hair a little bit and piece bits out and make it look a little bit messy, and I tend to gravitate towards that on kind of work days when I haven't really done anything with my hair and I need to make it look slightly presentable. Another thing that I use it for is I have 2 sections of damage, and that is it, that I can tell. You know, I'm sure I've had random bits of breakage throughout because it's very, very blonde and I've been doing this for a while, but I have these 2 sections at my temples that are short and wispy, just these bits. And so sometimes, especially on this side, I'll kind of use it to kind of tame that little bit. But that's really it. Other than that, I don't feel like my hair is particularly damaged. I must say, after the last time I had it done, it felt considerably drier and in worse condition than previously. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to continue with the block blonde. What I think I might do is do kind of like every 4th time I go, have a block blonde, and then continue with the highlights in between. The reason I went with the block blonde in the first place was because I liked the shorter roots. Now, I do have a picture, I can show you the pictures. The first picture is when I previously had highlights, and it's around 8 weeks of growth. And you can see that's a huge amount of growth, and I like to leave it 6 to 8 weeks between appointments. Only because of kind of the cost factor, but also because I don't like to be dyeing my hair constantly. I like to kind of leave it to have a little bit of a breathing room. And the next picture will be the last time I went to have my roots done, and this was a 6 weeks growth, so it's not a perfect comparison, but you kind of get the picture. Considerably shorter roots, and although it is a block root, not everyone wants that. I definitely prefer the shorter root. I think it's less noticeable, and I don't know, it's just, for me, I prefer it. So I like that. But I think that there are a couple of things about block blonde that I don't like. One of them is that it's really difficult to get an even tone. I find that there's kind of, and I've heard this online about bands. If you leave it too long between appointments, that you'll have like bands of blonde. So you'll have your most fresh blonde, and then you'll have a slightly worn blonde, and then you'll have the most toned blonde because it's been blonde for a while. And I kind of feel like I'm getting that. I did mention it to my stylist originally, and she said it shouldn't happen, but I do feel like maybe it's an inevitable thing of having a block blonde root coverage. And also they emulsify the blonde over your entire hair, the bleach. So you'll have the bleach on your roots for however many minutes, I don't know, so let's say half an hour or 40 minutes or something, and then you'll go to the sink and they emulsify, which basically means they kind of add water and put it all over your hair. And I don't really want bleach over all of my hair every single time I go to the hairdressers. I know it's watered down, but still, I'm very aware that is going to be more damaging than regular highlights. So we will see how I feel about it in the future, but for right now, that's where I'm at. Now I have some little clips of actually having it done. So she basically painted all of my roots with the bleach, obviously. One thing that I didn't know from my many years of colouring adventures for myself is partway through the processing time for the bleach on my roots, she came back and wet it. So she kind of went over it again, and she said it's important not to let the bleach dry on your hair. I've never read that anywhere. I never knew that. It doesn't say that on any of the DIY kits that I've ever used, partly probably because it's not the same kind of strength. But still, I thought that was worth mentioning to you guys that do try and DIY. That was like brand new information for me. So that's one thing she did. I also wrote down on my phone what she used. Blondor by Wella. So for those of you that want to know the exact kind of bleach that she uses, apparently that's what it's called, Blondor by Wella. I can't tell you kind of the mixture, the volume or whatever, but that's all I know. I asked that question and that's the answer that I got back. Then what happened? Then they take me to the sink. That's where they emulsify everything and that's where they start toning. And for me, this is what I pay for. Because I could get this stuff from the hairdressers, I could get it from, you know, Sally's or wherever, and do my own roots. I could. I feel like I am, you know, I don't recommend you getting box dyes to do this kind of thing because for the most part, they're just not strong enough to lift hair that's kind of anything darker than mid-blonde to this kind of colour, and probably not at all. So you're looking for proper stuff from a beauty supply store, and I could probably do that for myself, but it's the toning part of it that is an absolute art, and I'm always so impressed. She takes so long over this toning step, and she'll be kind of painting a little bit of it on to make sure that one section's toned, and then she'll wash it off, and then she just takes so long. And sometimes I'll end up with like pink parts in my hair because I've always said to her I'd rather end up with like pink streaks in my hair than yellow streaks, so because the pink will always fade out. But yeah, I'm always so impressed with how diligent she is over that, and for me that's the part that I pay for, her making sure that it's as blonde and as well toned as it can be. So that's kind of the process, and then obviously they condition and dry and whatever else. And for the most part, I'm really happy with it. The last appointment I had, it did feel a little bit dry, like I say, and the person that dried my hair afterwards was quite rough. I actually saw her pulling clumps of my hair out of the comb when she was combing through it, which kind of blows my mind because I'm so gentle with my hair when it's blonde like this. So that was kind of something that was a little bit irritating. But on the whole, I'm really happy with the service that I get there. I've been there for like a year, been through all kinds of different colours, and I'm really happy with what I have now. Now, I would love to hear your own experiences with blonde, like bleach blonde versus highlight. I did mention it in a video a while ago when I was thinking about it, and I got some great feedback from you guys. Kind of to and against and stuff like that. Also, if you are a professional, you want to offer some kind of DIY tips, please feel free. I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to be responsible for ruining someone's hair, but if you do have your own tips you want to share, then go ahead. And anyone that is as blonde as I am, please feel free to leave your own kind of suggestions and advice on how to keep it as healthy as possible. And I think I've covered everything. Because I filmed this video so many times, I feel like have I mentioned this? Have I mentioned that? I don't know. Hopefully I've covered everything. Anything I haven't, please feel free to leave me a question in the comments and I'll try and answer as many as I can. But yeah, any other questions you might have, I'll do a follow-up Q&A. But I think, oh, one last thing that I did write down was the kind of toner that they use at the hairdressers, and it's called L'Oreal Toner Frosted Pearl Milkshake, and it's like a pink toner that they use rather than a blue toner because I prefer like a minkier, neutral kind of blonde rather than that blue icy blonde that I've got right now. I do prefer kind of that more pink toned blonde. So that was the only other thing that I wanted to know that I thought some of you might ask seeing the clips. But yeah, hopefully I've covered everything and I will see you guys in my next video.
My name is Buzz.
Have you got anything else to say to us?
Yep.
What?
I'm just going to school.
You're just going to school?
Yeah.
When are you going to school?
In England.
And beyond?
Can I see you?
He wants to show you my tattoo. And what does it say?
It says and beyond.
And beyond.
And beyond.
What does Buzz Lightyear say?
And beyond.
He says to.
And Freddy. And the end.
Something like that.
To Freddy. And the end.